I'm Alex. Nice to meet you guys. And what that's supposed to be is my Snapchat, Instagram, Vine videos. But first, let me start by saying, but also challenged. Similar to Tony Robbins when he gave his TED Talk, except there's a big generational change. Tony's challenge was that he had to speak 50 hours per seminar. Mine is that I speak to an audience online daily, 6 to 30 seconds. And millennials understand why. I mean, we live in a world of instant gratification. So with that being said, first I want to say I'm honored to be able to share the stage with you guys. I mean, brilliant crowd, amazing speakers, awesome presentations. But what if I told you 10 years ago that you'd be able to motivate, inspire, change, and move potentially millions of people within a second by the tap of a button? You, I'm sure, would look at me like I'm crazy. But the reality is that listen, potential and opportunity to create and do more than we've ever had before. We live in a very powerful world. And this. So, did you actually know, like, social media, who here is on Snapchat? Like, quick, okay, so everyone, yes. All right, sweet, good engagement. So, basically Snapchat, did you know that they generate over 6 billion a day? That's incredible. I'm talking about YouTube, you guys may have known, has 1 billion active users. Instagram and LinkedIn as well, 400 million on each. Twitter, 320 million, and Vine, my platform that I use to get out there and share my message, 200 million. So in your smartphone, which I hope right now is in your pocket, but in your smartphone you have the ability to reach a world that many people may share the same idea as you, the same vision as you. And it's all possible now to be able to create anything because of that. I mean, the entrepreneurial business margin's unreal. Don't even get me started on the creative aspect. It's constantly flowing. For instance, what we feel, what we see, what we do, it's not just within us, and it's not just within our space. I mean, our eyes, our ears, our hands, our minds. I mean, we can take an experience that we live, right? And we can Snapchat it, or we can take a video of it, post it to Instagram or Facebook or whatever, take a picture, be able to share it with our audience, which on average, majority of in here have around maybe a couple hundred to 1,000, if you're really active, 2,000 followers on your social media accounts and your websites, right? You can engage these people in the same experience as well, inspiring, laughter, crying, happiness, sadness, anger, joy, love, all these different feelings. And that's powerful when you're able to actually use this in the right way, in a positive way. That's exactly what I've done. And this is why your voice matters, because there's people out there, so many people out there that just don't have a voice. There may be some people in this room right now that feel that way. There's maybe some people when they post this on the internet, I'm talking to you, maybe all around the world. You may feel that way. This is why it's important for you to share your voice and your message and your idea right here. Because people need that. And at the same time, you've been given every opportunity to be able to share it. And it really comes as you being alive. What's here, it's meant to be presented in the world that you live. That's why you're given it. I mean, an example is my life. I started about 2 years ago. I was just like any of you guys, you know what Vine is, right? Yeah, so Vine, 6 seconds and all that stuff. Funny comedy skits. That's what I used it for. Whenever I was bored, I'd be sitting around thinking to myself, okay, well, I wonder who fell off a roof today, or da-da-da-da, whatever, cat videos, right? Until I began to realize something. It was a few months in. I have many influencers on that app that I'm friends with now, but when we began, I wasn't even part of this whole entire social media fame thing, whatever, right? I began to see people coming up with original, unique content, right? It was funny. It was comedy. That's what that Vine was, the Vine was designed for. And I began to think to myself, okay, if they're getting hundreds of thousands to millions of not only followers, but views What am I missing here? Ever since I was 16, I've been having a passion to help people. And I've wanted to express myself. I want to get out there. I was fearful, of course. But now I feel like this is my chance. And I knew from the decision I made that day that it would change forever what I do as well as what I stand for. And what I decided was to make a 6-second motivational video. You should have seen my parents' faces. You should have seen my friends' faces, my mentors' faces that were speakers themselves. So saying, how in the world do you inspire someone and motivate someone in 6 seconds? It just doesn't make sense. It's too quick. I don't know how it happened. I give glory to God, but the thing is, I went to bed that day after filming that video. I think it was on like Believing in Yourself, real simple message. And I woke up the next day, halfway through the day, I checked my Vine. I had 20,000 views in less than 24 hours. And I said to myself, okay, whoa, wait, hold on. Maybe it's like it got hacked or something. I don't know, maybe it glitched. This doesn't happen to me. You know, I was in a state of like, okay, this worked. And now I'm blessed to say 2 years later, I've reached over 50 million people doing what you were supposed to see. So, I mean, that's why I'm here talking to you. This isn't like some rah-rah speech of inspiration. This is just you being able to engage what's been given to you to make a positive change, because there's people out there that need it, man. And I believe that this worked because my messages were short enough to interest and deep enough to connect. I believe that 100%. I mean, for instance, trends, right? ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Again, raise your hands if you partaked in that. Oh, okay, not as many, but, you know, none of you guys are a fan of ice. But what happened was we would basically take these buckets of ice, pour it on our heads for ALS, raise money for them, raise awareness, all that. This is the power of social media and voice and message. It raised over $115 million. You know why? Because we took individual action. Inspired action. We encouraged other people to do the same. We would pour a bucket of ice on our heads, freak out, go crazy, and then we'd be like, all right, I nominate 3 people. And you encourage 3 people to be able to do the same so that you could make a difference. And I don't know if any of you that raised your hands knew how much of a difference you made, but you changed people's lives by doing that. That's the power of social media. And so, like, my question to you basically today is like, what's your message? What is it that is in here? What's in your heart? What's in your mind? Something that, you know, whether you're up in your dorm or at home and thinking to yourself, something that you would love to create, something that you love to do. Maybe it takes a little bit more time. Maybe it takes a little bit more effort and it's out of your comfort zone. But what is it that drives you deep down inside? What is it really that you wake up every morning thinking about? Go to sleep at night thinking about. Engage in that. Find your innate strengths. Find something that is true to you. Where can you add value? Not only to your life, but to other people's lives. That's my question. How will you measure your life? What type of meaning do you want to add to your life? And by saying this, I want to engage into an example like something that I came up with. We're in Florida, so we all know what an ocean is, right? I would hope so. Woo! Yes, she does. So, an ocean, it's beautiful, it's magnificent, it's huge. But once it was a basin, it was empty. 3.8 billion years ago, water, once gas, was condensed into rain. And it filled the basin. So, for a second now, I want you to think of the human race as like an ocean, all right? And you, every single one of you, is like a tiny rain droplet. With enough passion and courage and faith to feel as if like you're a gallon of water. And you take the first leap from your comfort zone, you're up in this cloud, and you fall and you leap down into the soil. You make your splash, you make your impact. And it's different, it's uncomfortable, it's a little strange to you. But at the same time, you're driven, you haven't given up, you're continuously pushing forward. And without you even knowing it, people around you that may not have believed in you, people that may have put you off, people that may have said, okay, well, you know, it's just another kid with a dream or something like that, right? By you taking that step, falling into the soil, You've inspired other people that share the same vision as you. Maybe they didn't say it out loud, but within their hearts and their minds, they did. And they begin to leap. And one by one, you begin to see more and more be inspired by your action. And they create their own impact. And before you know it, your action created unity within a community, and you find a free-flowing ocean. That's the power of what you can do. It's one person. So with that being said, I'm going to finish up with this, but challenge yourself, like push yourself. Step outside of your comfort zone. Ask yourself. Find your why. Get really specific. It's important. That's the number one thing that's going to drive your success. The American writer Jane Wagner once said, "All my life I wanted to be somebody, but now I realize I just should have been more specific." When you become specific, you understand exactly what you need to do, exactly what you are meant to do. And that can drive your passion and your purpose to places that you have never seen before. I strongly believe that. I've seen that within my own life. I've seen that in other people's lives as well. And with that being said, my goal is to make authenticity trend. I want to know what's yours. And finally, Bill Gates said it best, and honestly, with simplicity. The leaders of the next century, they're going to be those that empowered others. So, who are you going to be? Thank you.